Hey everybody, welcome into Farm Cooking with Nan. Today we're just going to be making a cabbage and I'm going to use some Italian sausage, and we're going to fry it up, and we're going to make a cabbage dish that is so filling. It's almost like a casserole, but it's not quite you don't put it in the oven. We do it on top of the oven, okay? I mean on top of the stove. So let's get busy right here. I'm heating up my pan a little bit. Let me move my thing there so you can see, but I'm heating up my pan, and I am going to put some olive oil, probably a couple tablespoons. And then I'm going to put 1 pound of Italian sausage in here. Let me peel that off. And dump it in there. Get that little piece of paper off of it that's on the bottom of your meat. This is going to be good. Sorry, I had somebody the other day tell me to stop beating the side of that pan if I knew how bad that it bothered them. And, you know, I never thought about it, but truly, I mean, if that bothers you that bad, turn down the sound. Maybe your sound is up really high, and that's what's making it do that, okay? Not trying to be disrespectful or anything like that, just turn it down just a little bit. And I'm going to put some, one whole onion that I just rough chopped, okay? It's not cut little, it's just rough chopped. And put that in there. I hope y'all are having a good day. I'm just cooking something up. It's about 3 o'clock, and I'm just cooking something up for supper tonight. I know I'll have some left over, but I have a fresh cabbage, and I want to get that cabbage, use that cabbage, okay? We'll be right back. We've got our sausage about all done. Now this is a Dutch oven. If you don't know what this is a Dutch oven, is what I'm cooking this in. Okay, I'm going to put 2 cans of Rotel. It's just the diced tomatoes and green chilies. Sorry, that's what I think they fussed at me for, is banging my cans on the side. We're going to put that in there. We're going to put some salt and pepper. Probably about a ½ teaspoon of pepper. And then we're going to put in about a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put in some garlic powder. Put a teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon of onion powder. I'm going to put some thyme. I'm going to put, maybe ½ teaspoon of thyme. And I'm turning that heat down. I've turned it down between low and medium, okay? There's one other thing I'm melting in. Didn't have time to go downstairs and get it. I'm gonna scrape everything out of this bacon grease that I've got, which is just maybe a half a teaspoon. I tried to melt it in the microwave, but I want to get just some little bit of bacon flavor in there. Maybe it probably was about, when it's all over, probably about a teaspoon. Bacon up. If you've got bacon up, use bacon up. If you don't want to use that, you don't have to use anything. Sorry for it taking so long. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it down all the way down on low. Okay, I'm going to put in about a cup and a half of broth. That's chicken broth I put in. I might have to add just a little bit more. Now we're going to put our cabbage in. I'm putting in my cabbage. It's taking a couple of, I did about one big cabbage. I did a half of a head. Let me get the rest of it right here. Oh, mercy. Just a second and I'll be right back. Just want to make sure I got everything. I'm going to put the lid on there. I'm going to bring it back up to about medium. And I'm going to let it simmer for a few minutes. At this point right now, you can put about, probably anywhere about 3/4 to a cup of rice. You might have to add just a little bit more water, but I'm not going to put any cooked rice in. I'm going to go ahead and use up some stuff that I need to use up, and that is jasmine. This is some jasmine. 1 minute. I'll just show you. It's just, it's not the brown one, but it's the minute rice. It comes in little cups. That's all we need. We don't need a big bunch. So I've let this cook about 5 minutes. And now I'm going to, after I put the 2 things of rice in there, I'm going to let it go ahead and cook for about 5 more minutes, because I just want my cabbage to become tender, and we'll be back. You can see how I've had it in there about 5 minutes, and I'm just breaking up see my little thing of rice. I'm just breaking that up. I just had those and I needed to use them up before I start putting anything else in there. I'm stirring it a little bit. I like my cabbage to have just a little bit of a crisp to it. I don't like to chew it and not know you chewed it. You know what I'm saying? You can see I just ground up some, shredded up some Monterey Jack cheese. And y'all might not do this, but I like cheese on top of mine. We love cheese. I'm going to put this cheese on top, put the lid, let me make sure I don't have any left in there. You might not want cheese on top of yours. If you don't do it. Don't do it. That was probably about, I don't know, maybe 8 ounces. And I'm just going to turn this off and let it, just let it sit there and melt We'll turn it off back here. Okay, we've got it ready, and I'm getting ready to grab it off of the stove. And I can tell you, look at this. You put that right there. Does that look delicious? It looks delicious to me. I don't want to get a bunch out to eat. Let me get a little spoon. I don't want to get a bunch out to eat because it's not supper time quite yet. And so, you know, we really, like, that is so hot. We're going to let this cool just a minute. Bye, honey. Love you. Bella's heading out. I'm going to let this cool just a little bit while I talk to y'all. This is delicious. If you don't want to put, oh, now I'm going to talk to you about the recipe. As soon as you put the cup, about a cup and a half, 2 cups of broth in. I use chicken broth. If you've got beef, use beef broth, whatever you got, vegetable broth. Or if you don't have that, and you can use a bouillon cube mixed up in water, or you can use, I love to use Better Than bouillon. It comes in a little round jar at the supermarket, and it's great, and you just get a spoonful of that out and mix it in your water. Just makes your food, it just gives your food a good flavor. And where water's just, no. But if that's all you got's water, it'll work, okay? But put about a cup and a half to 2 cups of water in there, or broth. I use broth. And then put in about 3/4 to a cup of rice. And you want the quick cooking rice. You don't want the long, you want the, like the minute, not the minute rice, but that's what I used, was just those 2 little low, let's see what I've done. I've got a mess around here, youngins. I was going to show you. I had 2 of these in my pantry, and I thought, you know, I need to use those up. This was the brown rice. You could have used the brown rice, but you see the little cups? There's 2 little cups in there that you microwave. And they're, whenever you need them real quick and you don't want to cook rice, you can. But that really, really would be good to use about 3/4 to 1 cup of rice. And like I said, don't get the long cooking rice. If you're going to use the long cooking rice, cook your rice separate, and because you're only cooking this about 10 minutes after you add in your rotel and your cabbage. It's only cooked about 10 minutes covered. And so just be sure to put in your rice. And like I said, don't get the long cooking rice. If you're going to cook that, cook it separate and wait till right before you put your cheese in, and go ahead and put your rice in for just a few minutes and let it get warmed up, and gives it a few minutes to marry with all the flavors that you've got in there. So that should be about it. Be sure and use you some bacon grease. Put your little bacon grease in there, or bacon up. That's what I had, some bacon grease and bacon up together. Woo. This is so good. I've got some corn on the cob that I'm gonna steam a couple of ears of just corn on the cob, and I'm gonna make some cornbread real quick. Cover this up and keep it good and warm. And I only cooked it, you know, I browned my sausage, throwed my onions in there, and then I added my 2 cans of rotel, and those are 10-ounce cans of rotel. And you know, and then I added all my seasonings, and then I added my my cabbage, put the lid on it, and let it steam for about 5 minutes, and I removed it. and I added all the rest of my ingredients. You know, I did my cheese on top. If you don't like cheese, don't put cheese on there. It's delicious without it, but I can tell you, it brings it up a level for the cheese. And I used Monterey Jack cheese, just fresh grated. Aren't you glad to hear me say that? Fresh grated cheese on top, and that's it. And it's going to be delicious and hearty. Going to be really good. Like I said, I'm going to do it with a few ears of corn that have been steamed, and I'm going to do some cornbread, and we'll have a meal, and we'll have plenty left over for tomorrow. We can have this 2 nights in a row, okay? Well, listen, I just want to tell y'all how much I love you, tell you how much the good Lord loves you. We're having revival this week. It's tent revival, and it's out next to the Walmart in Unicoi, Tennessee. You can't miss the tent there when you take the exit off the Walmart. There's a big tent out there. We want to welcome everybody. Please come nightly. Right now, just draw a blank on what time. I think it starts at 7, but I'm not sure. But if you're like me and my back, and I'm not supposed to be out in the heat with the other things I've got going on with me, so you can pull up in a car and sit there, or bring you a special seat or whatever. We just want to welcome you to come. Okay, if you get a chance this week to come, we're hoping that the good Lord will move. I know that we had a great service at our church Sunday night. The Lord's already started in our revival, and 4 was saved and give their lives to the Lord. So just pray for us. If something happens, you can't come, you live in a different state, and say, NanA can't come, then you know what? I just want to welcome everybody that watches that's locally to where they can come. Please come out. We'd love to have y'all. Well, I'm going to go. Want you to know how much the good Lord loves you. And I will see y'all again, Lord willing. Okay? Bye-bye.